I believe in a God who works miracles. And I believe in a God who brings redemption to our stories. And that is what I'm praying for with the Lindsay Clancy story. That her story is not in vain. Here's one thing that I'll say with my full chest. If you have never experienced cycles of abuse, psychological abuse, you've never witnessed somebody else that you love watch them deteriorate from psychological abuse or watch them be murdered because of it, you simply will not understand the perspective that so many of us women are coming from.
What are you talking about? What about the kids? Let's think about the kids that just lost their lives, her 3 children that she strangled.
Watching this trial and seeing that things don't add up, seeing that this woman was failed by the healthcare system as she cried out for help. There are so many similarities in this Lindsay Clancy story that I have witnessed and experienced with my best friend Tara, who was murdered. If you've not walked the shoes of being abused, you will not understand where so many of us women are coming from. So many of us, and I'm so proud of the women that are jumping on here and educating about these abusive cycles and about what women go through, your own experiences of these abusive cycles. And most importantly, because this is not recognized in our court systems, it's the psychological abuse. And that is what I believe has happened tremendously to this Lindsay Clancy woman.
The comment sections are even throwing me off. Someone is like, justice for Lindsay, we stand with her. The person inside the house was hiding one of the children. Lindsay is innocent. I'm also an abusive survivor. This case is so heartbreaking. You guys are missing the big picture. She unalived her kids. You can't sympathize with someone who took the lives of her own children and then turn her into the victim. Someone's like, look at the murderers. Y'all are exposing yourselves. Do you know that we can see your accounts?
I believe that she was psychologically abused. And sorry, I'm just really emotional. I'm really upset about this because it's just bringing up all of my own memories of what I witnessed with my friend. And I think I can't really get mad at the people that are saying or having the perspectives that, like, saying just seeing it as this black and white thing. Like, she said it, she did it. Like, it's making me sad because you don't understand.
Police! Help! Police! Help!
The most nefarious part about the patriarchy is that it tries to convince women that they could only ever be the victim and they could never be the perpetrator. And with this whole Lindsay Clancy case going on right now, it's really proven to me that a lot of you guys are secretly misogynists. A vast majority of women have been trying to defend Lindsay Clancy, and they've been trying to push all the blame on Patrick and his new wife, but let's call a spade a spade. You guys are just misogynists. You guys don't think Lindsay Clancy is capable of committing murder because she's a woman. And in your mind, you think women can only ever be victims of their husbands or of everyone around them, and that they can't be responsible for their own actions or their lives. But like I said at the start of the video, the most nefarious part about the patriarchy is that it tries to convince women that they could only ever be the victim. And might I add, nobody on TikTok is any more educated than these lawyers or doctors that are currently working on the case. People go to college for years just for them to be qualified enough to work on these murder cases. So what makes you think you know any more than these professionals? You don't. So to put in short, Lindsay Clancy is guilty. She's either going to jail or she's going to a mental hospital. And I'm tired of you guys trying to defend her. Like, she is guilty. Stop calling yourself a feminist. You're not a feminist.
Watching women all over TikTok show up to support and defend Lindsay Clancy in the aftermath of the horrific atrocity that was committed against her and her babies is literally healing something deep inside me, and I just really need to thank all of you. I think back to, Andrea Yates and Lorena Bobbitt and, oh fuck, I'm blanking on her name right now, the lady that they made the movie Monster about. Anyway, thinking back to all of those women and how they were victims who were then viciously re-traumatized by the public. I'm just so incredibly grateful that we're changing. We're seeing through the bullshit. So thank you. Also, I want to take this opportunity to say that we don't have to follow the rules that were made by our oppressor. We don't have to do that.
I ain't got no time for this. Bye, Felicia.
Bruh, not even one RAP to the kids. Watching people not take accountability is what's wrong with this country. You know what's even worse about this is that you guys now support that theory that a lot of people say that women should not vote or shouldn't be holding positions of power because you guys don't make rational decisions. Y'all are fueling that sentiment, and people are going to use this as receipt to justify that. This is not the type of hill you guys want to die on.
I personally feel like Lindsay loves her children so much, and that is what kept her alive.
How, Sway?
You cannot make this shit up, bro. Like, this is literally bonkers. And honestly, with this case, I don't blame people for being skeptical. I mean, everybody is for everything, but it's just gotten to a point where I just think they want him to have been the one that done it. Like, I don't even think they genuinely think he did. I think they gaslight themselves into just thinking that because they genuinely inside their heart and in their brain wants it to be him that did it. It's so odd how so many women on the internet right now with this case are like attaching themselves to Lindsay. Like, they can't separate themselves just because they're girls. I mean, if you literally think for 2 seconds, if there was a man doing it, you would not be agreeing with any of this shit. Like, let's be honest. It's like whether or not he convinced her, manipulated her into doing it, or he was the one who actually did it himself, or she's guilty-free because postpartum psychosis is such an extreme thing girls go through, so therefore she's guilty-free. Granted, I know postpartum is a big deal, but having it so severe where you do some shit like this, I don't know about all that. And I know postpartum can give you psychosis and very severe hallucinations, whatever, but they're still separate. Like, postpartum can cause psychosis, but psychosis is still its own thing by itself. I mean, you could justify almost every single unaliving or any crime by just claiming psychosis or hallucinations or whatever. Even if they didn't have postpartum or were pregnant, they could still claim they had some mental illness or disease or whatever.
I'm scared that a lot of people might watch this, especially young kids, and then might think like this in the future. Think about it. They might use this as a reference. Or they might be like, oh, I remember that one lady, Lindsay, and I feel like, you know, she was supported by all of these women when she did what she did. Maybe I should do the same. Maybe that's the only way I could get out of my situation. Think about many people can just go through this whole situation and justify this action. Mind you, there's a GoFundMe that's close to $1 million that's supporting her during this trial. Like, you're getting financial support from the public to protect you from the consequences of your actions. Like, think about what we're teaching our kids.
The Lindsay Clancy defenders are actually anti-woman. If you're sitting here telling me that women are so emotional, so hormonal, that they can't stop themselves from unaliving their own children, why should they be allowed to vote? For that matter, why should they be allowed to make any decisions? You are basically validating everything misogynists have ever said about women. Like, why should a woman be allowed to drive a car, or hold public office, or have a job, or God forbid own a firearm if this is what hormones do to her? Me personally, I think women are adults. I think women can and should be held accountable when they end lives or harm other people. I think even though there may be mental health or other medical issues going on, you are still ultimately responsible for the lives that you affect. Basically, every single serial killer that you ever heard of, every single one in history has had a bad childhood, mental health issues, you name it. But I have never seen women log on and go, same Ted Bundy. Because Ted Bundy was a grown adult who we are all comfortable holding accountable for his own actions. If you believe women are adults, if you believe they should have all the same rights as men and they are just as capable and that hormones don't rule us, then that also applies when they do bad things. Because if women are truly ruled by their hormones, if they can truly just go off the wire and go nuts and unalive 3 children, one after the other, then The Handmaid's Tale is the obvious next step.
TikTokers are posting reenactment videos of them hanging out the window to prove that Lindsay Clancy is innocent.
What's innocent about her? She strangled her 3 kids. End of story.
This weekend, I've seen 2 different women hanging out of their own windows. The first woman was hanging out of her 2-story window after putting blue dish soap on her wrist to show where the stain should have been if Lindsay opened it. Notably, she found that there would have been far more staining on the window if Lindsay was the person that opened the window, as the prosecution claimed.
Whether she was able to open that window or not is not relevant at all, because the case is about her killing the kids. And even if we bring in the soap argument, using soap is not a depiction of what happened that night and the conditions that went on. Genuinely, what do these TikTok investigators gain out of this?
Another woman posted a parody of the crime from both Lindsay and Patrick's point of view.
How are you going to be making a whole reenactment reenactment when there isn't enough evidence to know where exactly everybody was, what they were doing, what they were seeing. At that point, you're not even recreating evidence. You're just creating imaginary bullshit that's gonna be aligning with your opinion.
TikTokers are posting reenactments.
Bruh, people started thinking there were CSI investigators trying to reenact the whole situation. This is crazy. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about this whole Lindsay Clancy defender situation and how everyone is out to defend her. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Also, if you haven't, check out this video. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it. But nevertheless, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.